Hey guys, I thought today would be a good opportunity to share some of the stretches that I do sometimes. It really helps since I do work from home in my own home office and I'm sitting down all day to really take some time to stretch out my body and to give it a bit of movement at some point every day. And I thought this would be really helpful for everyone who's working from home or maybe works in a position like sitting down every day. Even if you can just take these movements away and do some of them in your own time, doesn't have to be the whole routine. Now I have included a warm-up section. It's not very comprehensive, so if you know what works best for you, please warm up beforehand. And if you have any injuries and you have things like a foam roller or a treatment, please do so beforehand. I find that it really helps relax my muscles, probably even better than warming up does because I have a lot of tight muscles in my body. Please make sure you take the necessary precautions to take care of your body and prepare it for whatever you need it to do, because your body serves you every day and you should do the same to it when you need it. So with all that talking, let's get started. So the warm-up today is super simple. We're just going to start with some regular squats. When you do these, make sure that you really activate all the muscles in your legs and your glutes as you go down and come back up. This just really helps to wake everything up. After we do the squats, we're just going to place our feet out and we're going to do some sumo squats. Now this I think is good because it really targets your inner thighs. So again, try and feel everything as you're going through the movements. Now we're going to warm up our upper body. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls. We're just going to roll them to the back and really use your back muscles and your arms and really feel it in your shoulders. Now we're going to go forwards. Now we're going to wake up our core. This is going to feel a little bit foreign to anyone who hasn't done this movement before, but all you want to do is move just your trunk. This is just really to help wake up your core and your back. If you find that there's a different movement that helps you do that, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I find that this movement is really useful for improving your body awareness and core flexibility in general. All right, let's get into the actual stretching. We're gonna start again with the top. What you're gonna do is just, again, move just your trunk left to right, really stretch out your obliques, your upper body, and we're just gonna stretch over to the side. When you do this, make sure you don't close yourself in on yourself, really open through the chest back. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pivot and we're gonna bend, but still face our legs forward. This just helps stretch through our hamstrings and our back. We're going to relax and lower down to your leg. Again, only as far as you can go. It's totally fine whatever level you're at. This will get easier the warmer you get and with practice. Now we're going to relax again and come to the middle. If you feel that you need a little bit more weight, feel free to hug your arms. Now we're going to come to the other side. Now we're just going to come down again into sort of a wide squat position. This is to open up your groin and just place your hand on your knee there and push to really add some resistance and pressure to it. This is a really good stretch. You'll see a lot of sports people do it, like soccer players, because you don't want to strain your groin in the middle of an activity. It's the same if you're sitting down all day and you don't get a chance to use that range of mobility. Now we're going to come into a yoga-ish pose, just to wake up that leg in front. Now we're going to come down into a lunge, place your knee on the floor, and we're going to stretch out our hip flexors. Now what you want to do is flex your glutes. So push your butt in and flex your abs at the same time. And what you're doing is you're tilting your pelvis forward and stretching the hip flexor, which is right sort of where the front of your hip bone is on either side. You're coming to a deep lunge. Now with this one, feel free to have your knee on the floor or in a variation where your knee's up. I personally like this better because I can focus on targeting just my groin, and I'm not in it for the workout, I'm in it for the stretch, but feel free to do whatever you want. and then we're just going to gently sit back. Again, there's no pressure to go to any sort of level. Whatever degree you can get to is fine. Listen to your body. Take it slow if you need to. Now this can be a confusing move. What we're going to do is we're going to put the leg that's bent out, and we're just going to sit back on the straight leg. So you're sitting on the ground with your bent leg to the side. You can just relax and just do a gentle forward fold to whatever degree you can. Flex and point your foot to really get different kinds of stretches in there. And now what we're going to do is go into a pigeon pose. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, we're just going to fold the forward leg, straighten our back, and really sit up into our groin. Now, if you find this pose really difficult to get into, feel free to put the foot that's in front of you closer to your groin. That generally makes it easier to get into. Really sit up straight in this pose and feel the stretch wherever you might feel it. The goal obviously is to have the leg in front of you sitting perpendicular to yourself. Now we're just going to do the same for the other side. So again, into this forward yoga pose. If you want to, you can use your hands to make sure you're sitting tall in this pose and to really stretch out through the spine. Again, we're going to stretch that hip flexor. So we're going to go into a lunge position, push your butt in and tense your abs so that it's pushing against your glutes. Feel that stretch not only in your hip flexor, but also in your quad. Feel free to tilt your pelvis around a little bit to feel stretches in different places. We're going to go forward into a deep lunge. Now we're just going to sit back and again flex and point that foot to get different kinds of stretch. Now you'll see I'm not actually timing anything, and I think that's really important, which is just listen to your body. Sometimes if it's in need of a stretch, it'll feel really good and you won't want to get out of it. And you think, I can go deeper, listen to it. Of course, if you're in a time crunch, pop a timer on, but don't feel the need to follow my timeline if you feel like you need to stay in this position a bit longer or it takes you longer to get into a position. Whatever you do is completely fine, and that's the way it's meant to be. Of course, we're going to come from our forward fold into our pigeon pose. Now you'll find one side of your body might be harder to do the pigeon pose on than another. That's totally normal. It's just like how if you do a forward split, you'll go lower on one side of your body than the other. Again, it'll come with time. Now we're just gonna do a simple twist. I'm indicating with my hands where you want everything to go. Feel free to pause and rewind if you get a bit confused, but we're gonna do a closed twist. So we're gonna twist over the leg that's above and really use your head and look in the same direction because that's an extension of your spine. And then we're gonna do an open twist, which is opening towards the leg that's on the bottom. Now we're just gonna swap our legs and do the exact same thing. Really use that arm as well to push yourself in each direction. And this one's really good also for waking up your glutes, you'll find. Now we're gonna go into a butterfly pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your feet together and try and lower your knees to the ground as far as you can. You can even put your elbows on them and lean forward to put a little bit of pressure on them. Again, very normal if you can't open them as wide as I am, especially if you're sitting down a lot all day, but just to whatever degree is comfortable and really experience that stretch. And I find that it really helps if you take deep breaths, and with every exhale, just let yourself fall deeper into the stretch. I find that doing that really helps, and it makes the stretch feel better. Again, make sure you don't overstretch. The lower back is a very sensitive area. I myself have injuries there from overstretching, so definitely learn from my mistakes. Now we're going to do a different pose, and you might find that your quads really complain here, so make sure you take it slow and listen to your body. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put our feet on either side, and if you can do this sitting up, fantastic. If you can't get to that point, you can sit on maybe a block or maybe a little stool and slowly work your way down to there. For the people that can do this easily, I'm showing another variation, which is where you lie down. You can tilt your pelvis up to get a deeper stretch in your quad. So when you're in this position, just give it a go. Try tilting your pelvis up and then relaxing. Now we're going to do a standing forward fold. When we do this, it's very important if you're actually trying to actively stretch the hamstrings to straighten your back. Obviously you need to relax it from time to time because it puts a lot of strain on your lower back, but in order to feel that deep stretch in your hamstrings and in your back, make sure your back is straight, and feel free to alternate your feet to stretch one leg at a time. Now we're going to come to hands and knees, and we're just going to do some simple cat-cows. And super easy to just take a 5-minute break and do if you're working from home to really relax the muscles in your back. If you have a foam roller, those are godsends. And we're just going to do a quick yoga pose. We're going to come back into a down dog. Really push through your shoulders. I find that this pose really helps me stretch out my calves, so take alternating steps, pushing your heels to the ground. Now we're going to just roll forward into a plank position, and I'm going to do an eccentric push-up, which is just slowly lowering yourself in plank position down to the floor and then coming up. I'm going to come up into a cobra, but if you can't do this, feel free to do like a push-up on your knees, or I guess a push down. Just anything to sort of wake up your upper body and your arms. I'm going to come back, again, do whatever stretches you need to sort of cool down and relax your body again. Slowly roll up if you need, and we're just going to quickly stretch out our arms. So these are stretches you've probably all seen before. Just pull your arm to one side to really stretch out that shoulder. I actually find that it feels the best stretching out my pectorals, and I just do that by sort of flapping my arms back and forth. Normally you can do this against a wall, but since I don't have one here, I'm just gonna add a little bit. Now I'm just going to reach for my back, and when I do this, I want to think about reaching far down my back and not across my back. Feel free to lean a little bit as I do here, because you can also feel it through your obliques if you'd like. And swing everything out and repeat on the other side. Take this opportunity to thank you guys for stretching with me today. I hope you feel a little bit more limber, a little bit warmer, and a little bit more ready to get on with your day, whatever you have coming up. If you like this video, and I'm happy to do different variations in the future, let me know in the comments. If anything worked for you, if anything didn't, I'm always up for feedback. As always, thank you for sharing your time with me, and I hope to see you next time.